Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just want to share a little bit about my celibacy journey and how I've gotten to the place where I've been celibate for going on, I want to say almost 5 years at this point. And yeah, so let's get into it. Initially, I wanted to speak on something else, but I was led to speak on my celibacy journey. I had been watching, I want to say her name is Shayna Condi or Shayna. She spoke about her celibacy journey and how it's been easy for her and the reasons why she's celibate. And essentially she just stated, allow men to speak and watch their actions, and they usually, can talk them right out of, you know, getting it in. And this is coming from a place of honesty, no malice. I'm not a man hater or anything like that. I've just found being celibate more peaceful. My celibacy journey started after a breakup, and I noticed that I felt better after that breakup. Like, I felt like there were less F's to give, meaning I didn't have to worry about becoming pregnant. I didn't have to worry about STDs or anything like that. Prior to that, though, I have always been paranoid of people that I've become intimate with, only because I always think like, if you have something, you want to pass it along, and I'm not for that. Like, absolutely not. Let's say my thought process started a long time ago. I'm going to say as a child. And I'm going to try to condense this as much as I can. If not, oh well. But I want to say around the 90s, early 2000s, my neighbor, he looked sickly, and at that time, like, HIV and AIDS, it was talked about, but then it wasn't. I did find out that later he passed away due to complications of AIDS. And again, this was back when the treatment wasn't all that great, and basically if you found out that you were positive, like, is a wrap. So that kind of scared me, right? And then fast forward to, I became pregnant with my son. I was a teenage mom. I became pregnant with my son, and my midwife at the time, she was like, you're pregnant. What do you want to do? Basically, do you want to go along with it, or do you want to, take a trip to Planned Parenthood? And one thing that stuck out to me was, she said, at least you have options. I have a lot of young girls that come in here that don't have options, meaning at that time they were teenagers that were HIV positive. And she was like, again, during that time, treatment wasn't readily available, and it was a sentence to be up out of here. So I ended up keeping my son, and that was that. So my son, I think I got married when my son was like, I can't remember, but I want to say he was in elementary or middle school, like around that time. I got married to my spouse, and I still in my mind think that even being married, like, it never sat right with me when people like, oh, you got to be in a committed relationship but be married for you to not get any STDs. It's like, what do you have something special that somebody else doesn't have? Because I feel like people can act on their free will regardless if they're married or in a relationship or not married. But I kind of fast forward to being married. I want to go back to when I was a teenager. So I had told you about the incident with my neighbor. The person I was with at that time, there was a family member, and that person was married. That person contracted the virus, HIV, from their spouse. So again, that's another little notch in my mind that stayed with me until now, even into adulthood. Okay, so yeah, fast forward, I got married, and before I was married, we were engaged, of course, in a relationship. During that time, we went to get HIV tests together, STD panel, everything like that. Now, mind you, I did this while we were in a relationship. I did this while we were engaged, and we continue to get tested together while we were married. Because, like, again, in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what you do out in these streets. Now, we didn't have a history of cheating. At least I didn't. I didn't know anything about any type of cheating within our marriage. But thankfully, thank F, I was fine. He's fine. He's negative. I'm negative. And it just stayed that way. Then we broke up. Well, got a divorce, broke up. And then I chilled for a little bit. But then I realized after being married so early, and like now that I was older, I tried to date, or as they say, get into a situationship. And y'all, I ain't cut out for that. But yeah, get into the situationship for every bit of 2.5 seconds, because I was like, granted, when we did hook up, we used protection. But I still, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, what if something happened? And you may say that I'm paranoid, and I'm at the point I don't care what people think, if I'm paranoid, if I'm not paranoid. My sister used to call me Paranoid Paula, because I don't put nothing past anybody. And seeing some of these stories on social media of these young women and men that have become infected, it breaks my heart, because I never thought in 2025 that people would still be getting infected the way that they are. And I say this because back in like around when I was in my 20s, there weren't any like HIV what is it? I don't know the correct term for it, but you can take the meds, PrEP. That's what it is, PrEP. You can take PrEP. So if you are out in these streets, or your partner is high risk, you can take PrEP to prevent yourself from getting HIV. So what happened? So yeah, so like I've seen these stories on, like I said, on social media, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's 2025. Information is readily available. You can do a quick Google search. You got PrEP, you have protection, and I understand, stuff happens, but it hurts my heart seeing young people becoming infected in 2025. But where am I at? So yeah, I got out of the situationship with that person. And then I got into another relationship, and with that person, again, got tested, had my daughter, and negative, fine. Another thing I just want to go back to, that's because you get tested, you still roll a dice when you lay down with somebody unprotected or protected. It doesn't prevent that person, or it doesn't prevent the transmission of HIV. Of course, it's better to like know, but which is the reason why, like I said, I'm celibate. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't want to think about it. Like, if something were to happen, it would be based on, and I mean outside of smashing, it would be based on, like, if you get surgery or you go donate blood or something like that. Like, okay, certain things. And I think, from what I understand, that probability of contracting the virus is very low, but I'm no doctor, of course, I don't know, but I do read up a lot on HIV and AIDS now. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, when my first retail job, somebody I worked with was positive. Mind you, I think I was in my 20s, early 20s, and they told me they were positive. And it scared the sugar honey iced tea out of me. Like, oh my God. But yeah, so after me and my child's father, my daughter's father, we broke up, I was just chilling. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm not ready. I just want to focus on raising my daughter. that's it. Like, and I told him, even when we were together, I was like, you know, after you, that's it, because I want to focus on raising her. I don't want anyone in our space. I don't want to have to be worried about raising her, making sure that they get along, and also other stuff in life in general. So I'm saying this to say that's part of the reason why I am celibate. It feels good to go to my doctor's appointments. I don't have to ask for any type of STD panels. I don't need any type of protection. And I don't have to worry about like being positive for HIV or anything like that due to that type of activity. It's not anything towards, like I said, the opposite sex. I don't have any ill feelings towards the opposite sex. I've been for being before I even knew I was for being. And all I can say is, if you are out there, and I mean, when I say out there, I don't mean like, I'm not talking about shaming anyone for that sexual activity. But if you are out there, you know, get yourself some prep. Make sure you get tested. Testing, of course, doesn't prevent or absolve anyone from contracting it. I also want to say that I do live in the state of Maryland, and we have the second highest cases of HIV, and I want to say this is as of 2024, and this is according to stats.cdc.gov. District of Columbia is number 1, followed by Maryland, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, New York, Texas, and New Jersey. So yeah, just don't take people's word I don't give a crap about my chart. I don't care about, let me see my chart. From what I understand, people are buying my charts or getting screenshots off the internet and like editing it and showing that that's their results. I do feel like my intuition when I was younger was correct. There are people that try to infect other people with malice. There are people who know their status and continue to infect people. I said what I said. And, you know, just be careful out here. Again, Gen Z, I feel like a lot of Gen Z, and maybe, I can't say younger millennials, but a lot of you haven't seen in real, and this is not everyone, I don't use a blanket statement, a lot of people haven't seen young people that are positive in real life. So a lot of the experiences that I have with HIV and AIDS, it's happened in real life. I've seen it up close. My sister's neighbor contracted the virus from her partner. And I think I was like 8 or 9 at the time when I saw that. So I have various experiences with the virus. Again, a coworker / friend, neighbors, people within extended family. So protect yourself, and it's okay to be abstinent. You don't have to follow along with everyone else. But yeah, that was just on my heart to share. Again, I wanted to share something else, but I did not. And I hope you find this video helpful. I will attach some links in the description. You know, if you are, you know, out there, or not out there, I hate saying out there. If you are sexually active and you're interested in getting PrEP, they have PrEP for males and females. At one time I thought it was only for males, but now it's for females as well, to make sure that you protect yourself, empower yourself, know your status. Also, if I was in a heterosexual relationship and probably married now, I ain't gonna lie, I probably would want to use some type of protection, because I've seen OBGYN content on other people saying their OBGYNs are telling their patients to even strap up with their spouses. But that's just, like I said, I guess some people like, well, why get married? But yeah, it's 2025. It's crazy out here. Protect yourself, love yourself, And that's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all having a good day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. Hey, so I do want to add just a few things just to go back. There are other STDs beyond or besides HIV. And personally, some STDs are heavier than others. I'll take, for example, herpes. Most of the population has some strain or form of herpes, regardless if you want to believe it or not. We all do. You see kids with cold sores. Me, I've had chicken pox. So that part, and again, herpes is linked to like strep throat and some other diseases that I'm not going to get into in this video. My journey, my celibacy journey has been peaceful. It has brought me clarity. I have decentered not only men, but people in general. It's brought me peace of mind. I don't even know if I said that. I probably did said it a few times throughout this video. I do still occasionally get tested for HIV. You know, I forgot the one person I used to follow on TikTok, but he was born with it. I forgot his name, but he talks about, you know, still getting tested even if you are celibate. Like, I had dental work done a few years ago. You just never know. So I still get tested for it, but my main focus is keeping my mental and physical health the best that I can, especially because I'm raising my daughter, focusing on her, making sure I'm her rock, I'm stable for her. The last thing I need is to be in an intimate relationship with a partner to, one, have to think about an unwanted pregnancy, an STD, or just the mental anguish in general. And I love it here. But yeah, that's all I have. That's it. And again, be well. Please, you know, if you want to comment, if you feel like you want to jump in, share your celibacy journey. What has it been like for you, your experiences? Let me know. I love to open up the discussion and chat. Bye.